Um, Ever wondered why some stories just don't quite land? And and we've all been captivated by fantasy worlds, but sometimes even with a strong start, things go awry. Um, and that's precisely what happened with Netflix's adaptation of The Witcher. Uh, what began as a promising venture, aiming to rival giants, like slowly lost its footing, uh, struggling to live up to its potential. The initial season was uh, a beacon of hope, confidently introducing Geralt, Yennefer, and Ciri. However, the series soon began to stray, making narrative choices that disappointed fans of both Andrei Sapkowski's books and CD Projekt Red's beloved games. It's now becoming clear that a fresh start is the only viable path forward. The source material is uh, brimming with untapped potential, but the current series has drifted too far from what makes truly special. The current state of on Netflix is, to put it mildly, precarious. Season one worked because it focused on grounded monster hunting and character-driven stories, with Henry Cavill's Geralt at the heart of it. But after that strong start, the series began to lose its way. Major deviations from the source material, particularly the event at Kaer Morhen, pulled the story away from its established lore. Despite a strong cast, the writing failed to match their performances. Um, um, by season three, the series leaned into spectacle without narrative clarity. Geralt's arc stalled, Yennefer felt sidelined, and series development lost cohesion. And the recasting of Geralt with Liam Hemsworth only amplified the problems. While not his fault, it underscored how unstable the series had become. Um, at this point, the show feels like a ship patched together with too many compromises. Um, a creative course correction simply isn't enough. The problems run too deep. Even if Netflix pushes ahead with season five, for many viewers, it will be too little, too late. Um, the failure of Netflix's isn't a reflection of the source material. Sapkowski's novels remain layered fantasy works, blending political intrigue, moral ambiguity, and flawed characters, and the world is rich and deserves a faithful adaptation. Geralt was initially handled well, but later seasons struggled to capture uh, the grounded tone of the books. And the novels thrive on smaller scale tales. Contracts, consequences, and quiet character work. When the Netflix series prioritized spectacle, it lost what made so compelling. Characters like Yennefer, Ciri, and Jaskier shine in the novels because their arcs unfold with deliberate pacing. A reboot would allow Netflix to refocus on what works: world building, political factions, and monster centric narratives when handled with care. A reboot would allow the series to embrace the lore, characters, and moral complexity that deserve a confident adaptation. The current show proved unable to do that. The fresh start offers the chance to finally give this universe the treatment that it warrants. If Netflix chooses to reboot, the games may offer a more effective starting point. CD Projekt Red's trilogy begins with an older, established Geralt, providing immediate narrative clarity and stronger foundations for storytelling. Uh, uh, an older Geralt already has relationships with Yennefer, Ciri, and Triss, giving the adaptation built-in emotional anchors. Uh, Instead of spending seasons setting up dynamics, um, a reboot could begin at a point where those bonds are central and uh, compelling. Um, Structurally, the games offer clearer seasonal arcs, breaking naturally into multi-episode chunks. Uh, uh, this balances episodic and serialized storytelling in a way. Part of that television thrives on me. The biggest hurdle would be rights, as the adaptation rights for the books and games differ. However, if Netflix truly wants to revitalize the franchise, investing in those rights could pay off enormously. Uh, a reboot inspired by the games would let Netflix lean into the tone fans already love: gritty, mature fantasy that blends personal stakes with sweeping world building. It would embrace the version of the franchise that reached the widest audience and has the most cohesive narrative. Speaking of monsters, did you hear about The Witcher, who opened a bakery? He made a killing with his monster scones. Um, with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,